In 1978, the Intercept Group of Phoenix, Arizona, released the first information on a long-term contact case involving a Swiss farmer named Edouard Billy Meyer. The group presented a summary of Billy's contacts, and the first pictures from Switzerland appeared in Saga magazine's special UFO report. Billy claims he was repeatedly visited by alien human beings who told him that they came from the constellation of stars we call the Pleiades. The reason for the first contact was to give him a message to deliver to his government. That message described the destruction of our ionosphere due to byproducts of our industrial processes. They wanted the government of Switzerland, a neutral country in the Cold War world, to persuade the polarized Cold War powers to stop the destruction before it was too late. To emphasize their plea, they actually posed their craft for Billy to photograph, hoping that someone would want to know who they were, where they came from, and what they wanted. He backed up his claims with hundreds of clear photographs of Pleiadian spaceships. Meyer described the ships as beam ships, scout ships, and other remotely controlled air vehicles. Meyer delivered several alien pleas to many governments and scientists around the world, all to no avail. Controversy still swirls around Meyer. Some investigators claim the photos are authentic, while others declare them to be hoaxes. Several model UFOs were given to Meyer by neighbors and friends, and they were hung as decorations around his farm. Skeptical researchers claim that these models were used by Meyer to hoax his pictures. But testing by the Intercept Group indicated that the photos and films involved none of these models. Over the years, many believers in Meyer and the Pleiadian message have rallied around Billy at his farm in Switzerland, where they are preparing a facility to survive the anticipated catastrophic events in the Earth's near future. Skeptics continue to do their best to frustrate these efforts. Spain has had its share of strange sightings and events, but as sightings go, this one has to be one of the most beautiful. This sunset photo seen here was taken in Barcelona, Spain, in June of 1978. It is one of the most strikingly beautiful UFO photos ever recorded. Signora Montserrat Batlori, a housewife, saw this sunset out of her window. She grabbed her camera and went out to get a picture of it. After admiring the view, she raised her camera. When she snapped the picture, she captured 3 brilliantly luminous golden flying objects. And that's all there is to the story. No investigations, no government officials, just this beautiful picture. Since 1987, the island of Puerto Rico, a U.S. territorial possession in the Caribbean West Indies, has been experiencing its most intense UFO wave. Much of the activity seems to be focused in the southwest region of the island, mostly in the towns of Cabo Rojo, Lajas, and more specifically in the Laguna Cartagena area, a lagoon several kilometers long and wide, and also in the area of the huge Roosevelt Roads Naval Air Station. Sunday, June the 1st, 1987, at around 10 p.m., a huge unidentified flying object was seen hovering over the Laguna Cartagena. Witnesses reported that they saw a strange red ball of fire moving over the lagoon and descending in a controlled manner, making a slight buzzing sound. Then slowly it disappeared into the waters of the lagoon. On June the 27th, 1990, 3 witnesses saw 4 F-14s chasing a round ball of yellow light with a brilliant red light at its center. An AWACS plane followed the group. On December the 19th, 1990, many people in the town of Caguas saw military helicopters pursuing another yellow and red light, but they reported the light was as big as a 747 and flew totally noiselessly. Jorge Martin is Puerto Rico's leading investigator and editor of Evidencia OVNI, a monthly magazine featuring articles on UFOs and the paranormal. Since 1975, he has investigated hundreds of UFO incidents on the island of Puerto Rico and has written articles and reports for Puerto Rican as well as foreign newspapers and magazines. His articles deal with numerous incidents, the apparent abduction of U.S. Navy jets, U.S. Coast Guard involvement, as well as an encounter with alien beings in the Cabo Rojo area. Use the video controls below to have Jorge himself tell you about Puerto Rico's UFO phenomenon.
My name is Jorge Martin. I'm from San Juan, Puerto Rico. I've been researching UFOs since year 1975, for 21 years now. Currently, I'm the editor of a magazine named Evidencia OVNI, UFO Evidence in English, in which we deal with many of the things happening in Puerto Rico pertaining to the UFO phenomenon, and also worldwide. There have been many cases of abductions back in the island, many cases of sightings, landings, casual, as we call them, casual encounters with alien creatures. As incredible as it may seem, there have been also Bigfoot encounters related to UFO incidents. My feeling is that there's a cover-up going on at this moment in Puerto Rico, and it has been going on for a long time. The U.S. authorities and the Puerto Rican authorities know about the alien presence in the island.
July the 11th, 1991 marked the beginning of one of the most intensive, heavily documented UFO flaps in history. It happened over Mexico City during a total eclipse of the sun. Archaeologists believe that an ancient Mayan astronomical calendar accurately predicted the solar eclipse and the beginning of UFO visitation that would continue almost daily from then till present. The ancient Maya referred to the 1991 eclipse as the sixth sun, and with its arrival, man would experience earth changes and cosmic awareness. Could the ongoing Mexico City UFO flap be a harbinger of the enlightenment predicted thousands of years ago in the Mayan calendar? At El Grupo Sol, a Mexico City university, courses are taught on the computer analysis of UFOs and videotapes that have been pouring into the university ever since the project began. Upon computer enhancement of the videos, a startling pattern became visible immediately. The UFOs in the videos analyzed could not be matched with any known conventional aircraft. Suspiciously, the Mexico City UFO wave has been front-page news since the mass sighting began in 1991, but have received little or no media coverage in the United States. One wonders why this should be. In the meantime, the sightings continue. Jaime Maussan, Mexico's most respected television reporter and anchorman of Mexico's version of 60 Minutes, is leading the investigations into the Mexico flap. Use your mouse to hear what Jaime has to say about ovnis in Mexico.
I am Jaime Maussan, and I am a TV reporter, investigative reporter. I am anchor of the program 60 Minutes in Mexico. I've been working in the Mexican television for the last 25 years. After the total solar eclipse of July 11, 1991, we realized that in the skies of Mexico there were many objects that were not from Earth. And I had the opportunity to go to the media and inform this to the people, especially after we received some videos from this eclipse. From then on, I've been receiving videos almost on a daily basis. And I can tell you now that I have in my hands more than 5,000 videos recorded by the Mexican people. I believe this phenomenon in Mexico is because of the people. I believe it's happening because there are many millions of eyes in the skies, and many of them have cameras in their hands, and they are producing some of the best evidence, probably the most genuine evidence around the world. And that's why I believe the Mexican phenomenon is important, because it's proving that people is ready, is alert, and is expecting the visitors. And we believe this is going to happen soon in Mexico, because every time they are closer and closer, as you can see in the evidences.
In July of 1991, 4 judicial police from the city of Atlixco were traveling to the city of Puebla when they were surprised by a flying light exhibiting many colors. The light was very bright and moved slowly at first, and then stopped and hovered. As it withdrew into the mountains, the officers thought the craft might be a contrabandista's airplane or helicopter. The Comandante ordered their professional photographer to take a picture of the object to record the registration numbers. On the next day, when the photograph was developed, no one could explain the image it contained. On further review of the incident, none of the officers recall hearing any sound from the object. The names of the judicial police have been withheld for security reasons. About 90 days later, a similar craft was captured on film in the nearby town of Zacatelco. The photographer who took this picture prefers to remain anonymous. However, you can see the similarity to the UFO photographed by the Mexican Judicial Police in the nearby city of Puebla. In the Puebla photo, the top of the flying object is tilted in relation to the photographer. Thus, the row of window-like lights has a curved appearance. It should be noted that the residents also report seeing this object in Laguna de Alchichica, where it was seen to emerge from the depths of the lagoon. Mr. Hector Carranza Garcia and Rolando Breceno were walking down a dirt road near the Pueblo de Santiago Tulantepec when they noticed a disc-shaped object that seemed to be floating toward them. The object moved from north to south, passing within 200 meters of the two men. They described it as a golden-silver color with a dome on top and 3 flattened hemispheres on the bottom. There were no lights nor windows to be seen, and no sounds came from the craft. The object cruised slowly by and disappeared in the distance. Rolando and Breceno estimated the object measured at least 14 or 15 meters in diameter. This is very clearly a totally unique and unusual aircraft. Don Raul Dominguez Lopez photographed this OVNI on the 24th of April, 1993, while walking his dog at 6 in the morning. Raul had briefly and distantly seen the object as many as 10 times in previous weeks, but on this occasion the craft flew directly overhead. Raul reported that his dog cowered and whined as the object approached. He felt an intense cold when it passed over his position. Then it increased speed and flew over the horizon. It was a number of minutes before Don Raul could calm himself and his dog. Residents of the area continued to report sighting the same or similar objects, and others reporting seeing it submerge in Lake Chapala near the city of Guadalajara. Don Raul Dominguez kept his camera with him, and in July he again encountered the object and snapped 2 more pictures. The object came within 10 meters of him. After this second experience, Dominguez remained in bed for 2 days, suffering with exhaustion.